Ebusia yema obibia akwa abashonko straight up ye hye ensemo a ekoso na se e de amamodi ana ye kwa akopie mu ewo eye South Africa mine emu na nsentem nie na aba beto dwa se eye Ghana ye mpanimfo led by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs no aye adwene se ye bekwa akofa ye nuanom a wo mo ho akadwa ewo South Africa mine mu because for some period nie ye hu se South Africa fo na ni abre se any African na wo free different African country a wonye South Africa name na owo omo mine so ne de wo mo epamo mo nyina illegal migrant eni ade nyina no wo mo epamo wo mo na eno enem nam so Ghana so adwene se enye eni Ghana ni a wo South Africa wo pese wo bafie ne de ye de omo ebeba enti na me no kase as you can see and run anajo na Ghana for wo maye krado about 300 Ghanaians a wo maye krado se wo pese wo san eba wo nchi ayo my Ghana mu ha no wo mo sha asese wo mo eboaboa wo mo ho ano na wo mo asimu abepie mu wo Ghana ntimi ne wo kase de wo mo enam kwanso wo mo bepie mu wo krodwe mu ana no na the Minister of Foreign Affairs Okudzeto Ablakwa anam ne meka say ne Twitter handle na watch mu say wo mo meka say welcome and say wo mo safe flight to Ghana hanum say said de be ya wo betimi abedru hanum wo asumdwe mu na ye bekwa kopie mu wo South Africa na yakohwe the departure scenes of Ghana for wo mo aye krado so me free o mine mu abepie mu wo Ghana ha ye ba ye beto ansem no eso.
Yeah, these are not sorry.
We appreciate our president. God will bless you, Mahama. Mahama, God bless you, my brother.
We
appreciate what you do for us. Don't
God
bless
Mahama. God bless you. His Excellency. God bless you. Who say man no day? Who say NDC? Allah.
Take my name for me now, please. That's my answer. I want to go down.
Or it cause traffic? Yeah, I got the road here.
Abusia video ye kwahye no the scenes from Pretoria, Ghana's High Commission Pretoria no ene yokohu say Ghana for womani age a womo bo say bo President John Dramani Mahama Baso say wakai womo na wakwaji omo every day no womo komo South Africa. And two say a lot of them are very happy, and this really tells say all this while no na ebinum wo ho a womo yemu a anka no kremu no womo be sign womo nchi asaba wo man Ghana mu a, but then situations and conditions inti no kwayo mbefa so aba ne kra no na ayedin into the initiative led by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs no so womo evacuate Ghana for abepie mu Ghana ha no e na chese aso womo dem womo aboaboa womo bags ano ni ade say obi wo akwa sebe wa ya emfa mo san pamu ye na ye man mu mpanimfo so womo beboa yen am ya bepie mu Ghana ha de betimi aka say enije sem enti enije na Ghana for de eba efia eni hopefully say we this year bi ka ho de a na say we hwe ni mu kwan say nche obeba be ka wonsa wo man Ghana mu na ebeto odwa say evacuation exercise we koso no South Africa for bi no mu emuna ya wo matiko se kum wo mu kiremu ana se Ghana ye kire bi papa we are overreacting aden edin no mo kan ye de o mo kan o mo ambu obi a o mo anhye da ntete obi o mo anya hwe enso Ghana for ye ne ye pese ye ma asem ne ya asem enti no ye de ye ti ya ne se ye kwa akofa ye nkrofo de wo mo aba ye Ghana kodwem ha na eno na Jacinta this particular lady where one person na sa xenophobic attack ya ye kire mu ekoso South Africa no odi animu kan na what or catch illegal immigrants for so munya na monkwani ade na afei de Ghana fonso ayo ma dwense omukofo mu enkrofo a o say we are overreacting ya ma na broso dodo edien ene kasa bebre abusia enya sem kito amafo chemse say South Africa for nankasa they don't even know what they are doing at this point because you don't want us and we are leaving inti ensem a ewo ho no den yenkotie Jacinta ensem a wode atudwa emra.
In English it's a hyperbole ngezulu ihaba. Where I think the Ghanaian government really overreacted. I think it's disappointing, man. I think we've had a lot of respect for Ghana as a country and for the people of Ghana, and we still do. But for them to react in the way that they did is largely dishonest, because for them to claim that there were people who were beaten up when they know there were no people beaten up, and for the Minister of Police to even echo that is absolutely ridiculous. What we saw in that video was Victoria Africa talking to someone who had broken the laws of the country, come in illegally, come in legally and stay illegally, which is something a lot of foreign nationals do. And instead of them addressing that issue in a correct manner to say, listen, we noted that there's a citizen of ours who is in the country, so broken the laws, these are our concerns, etc., they decided to do a whole PR exercise that would paint South Africa as xenophobic. Very disappointing. And now we've got a lot of these Ghanaians on television actually telling us how they got into the country. Many of them are saying, I'm here in South Africa and I came on a visitor's visa, I'm staying here now, etc., you know. Those are the actual events, that there's a lot of law breakers in the country. And we are
and that is Jacinta Ngbose Zuma. And I think Sema Waka Ochema Natchez or Manya Ghana for Yaka they didn't really do anything bad. Oma Mobia, Intines or Muchema or Momoye or Monkanye, Yan, yes, ye pese ye free a South Africa, Mainimuna, ye got the near Brantia. Or no ye ko hu no a sebe hu se na Victoria Africa ene no kasa no ototo na no ni ade no na oye illegal immigrant a woni nkrata ne ade a wabepie mu e South Africa mine mu, and they were also trying to let him know say ade na waye ne enye ntinke wo se mpanimfo e wo krodwe mu hanum say no wo mokra etimi ema brante no say enye se wode enkrata anase woni nkrata no akotena obi man so na se ye ma asem no age nsem ne yesa ye nkrofo de fi South Africa mine mu ne de enya de a etwaye nes ye ama no abro. So but this same Victoria Africa ye Jacinta Ngose Zuma kana semi in the wake of enra ye hu say binimu ani age a said na ye mpanimfo chemu say if you willingly omode omunhye wo bia say wow pese obepie mu back e wo Ghana fa odin kono enye obia e na ye Ghana ni o South Africa odi ni din ekoye na Victoria Africa in question wasan meet another Ghanaian man e was South African mo chen we say abrante into the shop mu no free her because sabia ye ho no South Africa for na we say ton ade wo ho no ye Ghana ni. Meanwhile, Jacinta so ka say nya sa na tie ni ade enche ba ko hwe video of Victoria Africa o attack Ghana ni o che ne say baby o ton ade na South Africa for na we say ton ade to want to shop ni mu no go back to Nukrom no go fix in the country. Now they say South Africans are trying to be smart and play two cards here after say who say the evacuation na Ghana no it will send a signal to the international world say South Africans womu eni suban enti say omo try so ombe omo so mu ye ni papa pa eni ade but then yen kwhwe sa video we emra na yen to a ensem no eso.
Patriotic Alliance, we are from Patriotic Alliance, however we are also with community with Sanbona Siapila. We are also with the community leaders here, right? So we came to the store to ask Uguti, who is the owner. I think they are saying it's you.
No, I'm not the owner.
Oh, there is the owner. You are what? The manager? Okay. So, Baba, what we are doing is an awareness. We are busy. In fact, we come from, this is the second saloon that we came to, right? South Africans are the ones, I'm sure you are aware by now, that South Africans are the ones that are allowed to operate in the informal market. Informal market means small businesses. So I'll assume that as a person that comes from Ghana, when you visit a country like South Africa, you familiarize yourselves with the law to understand, when I get to this country, which type of jobs or business space am I allowed to occupy and so forth. Is that correct? Yes. So you know that as a foreign national, you're not allowed to own a small shop in South Africa. You're aware of that? Yes. But and you're comfortable with breaking our laws. It's okay. You can just break our laws. Because I, in my understanding, I can't come to Ghana and do what the Ghanaians don't want me to do. I will respect the laws of Ghana. So what we are saying, Baba Inshon, is that we're taking back the informal market, full control of the informal market as South Africans. The first one that we closed, we have put a South African there that she will be operating that store. Same thing is going to happen with each and every business that is in the hands, which is a small business that is in the hands of foreign nationals. So what we are saying, it doesn't end there. We are saying it's time for us as Africans to build this continent. We are saying you need to go back to Ghana and do the same, fix your country. If there are foreigners in Ghana that are doing things that they are not allowed to do, Ghanaian people must fix it. Same thing. So we want Africa developed. We want citizens of each and every country, citizens of each and every country to ensure they make their own government, their own leaders to account. We cannot have a situation where Ghanaians are leaving all the gold. You are the largest producer of gold, but Ghanaians are here doing nails and hair business. They've left meaningful resources back home. So we are saying revolution has started in Africa. And I know the second question will be why the Europeans, you guys are not, we don't have Europeans in our townships. We don't have them in the informal market. They are here as potential investors. And if there is an European or a white person that is operating a business in the informal market, we are also going to deal with them decisively. We were engaging Chinese people not so long ago there by China City because they are doing wrong things. So we want potential investors that are going to employ our people when they get here, that are going to, now I see Ghana.
Victoria Africa and our kopie Ghana ni abrantia wo ne shop eye kakra wo eye South Africa na wo che ne se sa ehonom no wo mo de esi wo de ama South Africa for enti enya de wo mo South Africa for betimi afi wo mo man South Africa aba Ghana abeye de ensem fata enti abrante ne ebu South Africa emra no so enti no onko back to Nukrum no onko ye adwuma wo honom because zabia e de it's solely for South Africans na utie ne nsem na wo ka no chemu se ebinum okika say blacks in Kwan or more attack you, that is what makes it xenophobic. But any blacks in Kwan or more attack you, name China for one you say umbe two, I was a Janison Kwandia. They are making you leave or more mawako. They want Africa to Africa, yes, I find to my preference to be anxious here and hold the leaders accountable. And that is what they are doing in South Africa. Unlike what yet to say or more time or more fellow blacks you my yakayaka no. Victoria Africa person chemu say and yes netie. Name they are just trying to put their country back in shape and they need to start from somewhere. And untina akwa banesa no say they are very serious about the blacks leaving their country for them. And according to your money there, it is not only blacks but whites and Europeans as well. So we are still monitoring closely and somewhere air koso South Africa minimu yeah the updates ebebremu. Now yen konsem for eso many oka say poplio what so say as ye can say Pope or that Catholic sorry no no ne won se ma ba beto e mountain so say what dia chaupa ama me can say the blacks efa the history woman so play ye slave trade no emu esan say nan say abetoja say President John Dramani Mahama seek reparation say woman compensate ye ane ayakayaka omudi afemu atete eni ade omudi afemu ye nanana no mo eniema ama ya hwere because of that slave trade no womo encompensate omo pataye na eno na Pope Leo the 14th ono so de ababe tuja enti usha Ose Pope Leo the 14th apologizes for church's historic role in slavery. Intina say ye ko abakosemu a na womo nso womo ye niema bi de boa ya ema slave trade no emu ehye den na emu egina brane wo krodue mu hanum say ya enu nti no ebia ye beka ne say ama development in the African continent no are very slow any other there whole lot of effects and aba in the light of President John Dramani Mahama seeking for reparation, seeking for compensation for blacks no wono nso de achopa aba na achopa no de baye no some of the US for no are reacted to it na many waka say American Don Lemon aba bonten abe kasa e de afa ho a wochemu say this is the first time a pope apologize and kamia say wama amampani ahodo a wo mu aba wo US no bebre na wo mani awu because insida it has never happened but enti ehwemu anache say Pope Leo the 14th wo no the first pope wetimi arenda apology with regards to slave trade no contribution na Catholic Church no so make here now yenko tie nsemu a don de etudwa na yeba ya to ansem no so de amamo.
The Pope just did what America has never done, never had the guts to do, and put every American president to shame. Pope Leo just apologized for the Vatican's own role in slavery. The popes who gave European kings permission to enslave people, he called it a wound in Christian memory. And this man has both enslaved people and slave owners in his own family history. The first American pope on Memorial Day did what no pope has ever done before, and what no American president has ever done either. Pope Leo is built different, and America needs to take note. What exactly is our excuse? Follow and subscribe to the Don Lemon Show on YouTube and Substack.
Abusian for na chese we ya basobodi a Don Lemon de Emma Pope Leo say e bin see da American Pope bi anyone no ma watimi aye de Pope Leo aye and this is even showing say Pope no kretimi agi atumu say bone ana say the President John Dramani can say that is the gravest crime against humanity na Pope nso atimi agi atumu na who is the president in US Obeka said Debbie. Say ade no enye, it is kind of cementing President John Dramani's proposal what they call UN that we should be compensated. Yen pataye ewo de omudi ya fa muga na hampo de otimi say na no ade beto dwa se okọ asantememu a ye gudie binom ne ade nyina ekoko free the western world because of this whole slavery so no emu enti with that no na chese it's more or less like a good thing cemented yen proposal yede echo UN no ni nyina mu no through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Ghana ya reacted to Pope Leo ni apologies wode aba efa slavery no so as you can see on the screens way free the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or say Ghana welcomes His Holiness Pope Leo the 14th apology on the historical role of the Holy See in the transatlantic slave trade. And to say Ghana, yaje Pope Leo na chelpa no yaje no awa too. Now yesha nsem ni mu a wose Ghana Accra 26th May 2026. The government of the Republic of Ghana warmly welcomes the historic statement by His Holiness Pope Leo XIV acknowledging and apologizing for the role played by the Holy See in legitimizing and sustaining the enslavement of Africans and the Pope of Africans and the transatlantic slave trade. The statement represents an act of moral courage on the part of the Pope and an important contribution to the ongoing global pursuit of historical truth, human dignity, and justice. International say Pope no na sema waba beka say slave trade the course no wo nso play part in it ma ye de before including Ghana efa yakayaka mu ni atete mu no yade ana entwa yie na ne nsem na wabeka no beboa ama sese ensem kan a ekoso ewo wiase afa na nyina UN summit na say President Ghana yema mpani John Dramani Mahama edi animu kan no kire pa say ewo se enya tentenene edi ema nipa ye de omo efa sa ateti we nyina emu na o say Ghana recognizes His Holiness Pope Leo XIV's long-standing commitment to service, compassion, and dignity of the human person. Enti we che say ampa Pope Leo wotema edi manipa we nyame nipa ampa we hu say the course no after so many years no ade a se be entwa ye. Now say throughout his work he has advanced principles of social justice, solidarity with the vulnerable, dialogue across communities, and moral responsibility and responding to the challenges of our changing world. International say wo Pope ni dwumadie mu no wo de niema egugu akwamu a che say ukọ emiaya ye de obuo ebema nipa se be ye de odo ene ye de betena ena afenso hwemu a eniema a ekoso wo wiase afan ya entwa yie no ye betimi ede atoto ne kwanso na bibia akoso tortin. Now we shall say for 5 centuries millions of Africans and people of African descent endured unimaginable suffering and dehumanization through systems of racialized chattel enslavement whose effects continue to shape societies and communities across the world today. Enti chiremwa emre bebre ni abesinko no ebibi man nipa mu ahodo ene yede omo afa tete mu yede omo afa yakayaka mu enam racial system ena we oye black ena we oye bibini ena we oye say ena we abesi ene saa de ne da so a ewo ho a nipa or say honest recognition of this painful history remains an essential step towards healing, reconciliation, and more just future. Enti wuhwemu anache so mu kyeremu asansem we ya Pope edi abetudwa se wo pache ono ekyeremu se wadi nokre se kwan omodi nipa fa so no ana se bibi fo fa so no na eyade a entwa yie ena afen so kwan bi asebe ebema ya abotoye mu ama ya odie biye we yemu no etimi efri yemu na afe entiase etimi aye adwuma. Se Ghana considers this acknowledgement particularly significant at a time when the international community is undertaking deeper reflection on the historical consequences of slavery and colonialism. It reinforces the growing global understanding that confronting historical injustice demands truth-telling and moral responsibility as essential foundation for justice and reconciliation. Inti sabre ya Pope etimi abekasa no eye nijesem edema oman Ghana esan se ya mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na champion this effect way. Inti se Pope beke bidia na chese ye nokre wose nyina yete ase aman ahodo a wo mpese wo beji atomu aman ahodo a na wo ho ebo mu bie no wo nyina be hu se de wo ye no editi ebibiman mu nipan Ghana kan hu bie no na eyade a entwa ye inti ebraso so wo gitumu so wo ayemfom so de wo ye no entwa ye enti wo se ye de achelpa de emma eye ebibiman wo de de wo FM no say the recent adoption of the landmark resolution ARES 8250 by the United Nations General Assembly declaring the trafficking of enslaved Africans and racialized chattel enslavement of Africans as the gravest crime against humanity marked an important moment in this collective effort. The resolution affirmed the need to preserve historical memory and sustain international dialogue on justice, dignity, and equality for Africans and people of African descent. Inti sabre ya yeko UN a yede nkrata akoto ho se ewose ye hwehwe mu ni agitu mu se slave trade no eye bone kese a etie nipa ewo wiase ye so no a Pope nso de ne ho abegi mu no eye ade bi a eya ewo se ye nyina ye ma ya adwen koso na ye patent ne na afa yetimi ema nipa odo esan ebeda ye ntemu ebiem na o se Ghana notes that during negotiations on the resolution, questions relating to historical references concerning the role of the church, including references to papal bulls and related historical issues associated with the transatlantic slave trade, generated extensive discussions. Against this background, His Holiness Pope Leo XIV's apology is particularly significant and refreshing, as it demonstrates a willingness to confront difficult historical truths in the interest of justice, understanding, and reconciliation. Inti sabre die womo ehune se Ghana for yehune se Pope Leo na chopa wode abano aba brepemu papa esan se beboa ama yenyina ye benya ye ho ntiase na ya be hu no kre ne se ampa se slave trade no eye bone kese editie nipa ewo se emra so se yenyina aman ahodo ni nyina agitumu na yepe eye atentenene de ema ebibiman ewo dia we de yen efemu no emu. Now, say as a nation deeply connected to the history and legacy of the transatlantic slave trade, with the most forts and castles along its coast standing as enduring reminders of one's humanity's darkest chapters, Ghana remains committed to working with international partners, faith communities, civil society, and peoples of conscience around the world to advance efforts aimed at historical justice, remembrance, and restoration of human dignity. In this de Ghana, de krado say ye ni adwumeku ahodo ensore any ade enipa binum a wo mu gitumu say slave trade no ade bi a ako etia ebibiman na ade entwa yie no wo ma ye krado se enu mu nyina ebeye ejuma. Now, in this regard, Ghana looks forward to welcoming the international community to Accra from 17th to 19th June 2026 for the high-level consultative conference being convened by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, on the next steps following the adoption of the resolution aimed at sustaining global engagement on historical justice, remembrance, and human dignity. It is also our hope and prayer that states which did not support the resolution would in the near future align with its objectives and join Ghana and the broader international community in advancing its effective implementation. And they say no, from 17th to 19th of June, yebenya eye jumekuo any organize inkwekuo ahodro any aman binumu impenifo mba be piem wo Ghana ha na fe ye bebobo ho kwan a ye betimi afa so na eye proposal ya ye de akọ UN no wo betimi age atomu na ya pe atentenene e de ama ebibiman ne kwan a ye betimi afa so sesei na ensem ne timi pushi agenda no akọ na nim enti wo mo to nsa afre ayeye enkonko awodo wo mo support sa proposal we no so wo mo emeka ho ebie e na aman binum a UN meeting na se wo mo de wo mo so mo nyintumu no ye hwe kwan se emre kwa na nim no wo mo ebetimi e de wo mo ntema abebo Ghana ye ntema mu. His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama expresses his appreciation to His Holiness Pope Leo XIV for this significant step and look forward to continuing global engagement in promoting truth, healing, and a shared commitment to humanity. International mampeni nani eso pa se Pope Leo sabre yumu na wetimi ede na chopa no aba confirm say indeed the course was slave trade no emu no yade na entwa yi kra. Now yemfin nsem we eso na yenko ensem fofo eso dia na no ada na ebeto odwa se ukopie mu ewo eye kwafo krom ewo eastern region a eye goil filling station ba kwa ewo honom no akronfo ato ahye honom kyese abusia ewie sika a attack adwumayefo a ewo ho a na enya sem ketwa nene eni jesem aba beto dwa from the Eastern Regional Police Command na ejemu a hwehwemu akoso ama sa emrantie ya wo mo ekodi sa nipa bonefo sem we no ade a ensa etimi aso wo mo emu na a police fo chiremu a ebinum de omo ho akanwura de na nso emu mienu de ade a wo mo etimi ache omo. Now yebekwa akohwe video of ebrasa robbery we ekoso ewo gold filling station a wo the Eastern Region kwafo krom na emrantie se do mutumi di moto yura mu ni niema ekoso eni ade ni nyina yenhwe emra na yentoa ensem no eso.
Abusuan video ya uhu na no Sunday ya Robin a ekoso ewu kanta uyo bia otafa nsahom suhun kumase kwan so a ubohun se ukanta udru ho a filling station bi ewo nsa left shop a ewo honum anrobes abowura ho ewie sika ne nyama ewo mu nina nti yesle. This is a real footage of what happened there last Sunday no. Nti yesle police for form hunyim na boy say this answer money omunchi omu nina according to report no yewi anyama ho ninara ene sika ede ema egu attendance no so honum mu shede twa attendance for ni bi mapa by force for some particular key be to a certain room I sika ho. This is a real footage of them. Sagana ban omuhwe no munye bibi fa kro no ho Ghana ha na nsi da no ayede Sagana ban
Kwafo kromo what Eastern Region Goy filling station wo honom na yekohu se akromfo ato ahye wo so a wo hwe the scenes na enya sem ketwa utimi se attendants na wo mo ho ni nyina ehu abo mo say na ebeto odwasa no na Ghana for bebre sha se wo mo target Ghana police for say we dey munye biribi mfa ho because wo hwe se the people were treated any ade ene ma mo fa yesika ne ade o mo di dwane ko ye ya ye beja wo mo sa mo akwa na Ghana Police Service for say no they are really working in praying there emranti a wo mo kobo sa akro no wo kwafo kromu no ade a wo mo ache wo mo a ho nsem aba betoja now ye the press release free the Ghana Police Service for two screens so the amount ne wo mo akire mu emranti dodo a sabre de wo mo etimi ache wo mo wo sa akro no die we emu now yen hwe sa video we emra na yen toa ensem no eso Yes, enti ebusia ni nyina e kansem no a course so as we can see that was how the robbery went. Now, the Ghana Police Service for ensemo a wo mo de eto emonten so with regards to the arrest wo mo are making no better screens. So as you can see or say this is coming from the Eastern South Police Headquarters, Eastern South region Chebi area honum. Now, say press release police arrest 2 suspects in connection with Kwafukrom Gold Filling Station armed robbery. Inti robbery e course no police for etimi adi akire ama wo mo ensa so emrantie mienu emu. Now say the Eastern South Regional Police Command has arrested 2 suspects, Amos Boame and Collins Ejay, in connection with the armed robbery that took place at Kwafukrom near Insawom on Sunday, May 24th, 2026. Into omu chemu ye kwesi adaye twemu ya na sa krono die we ekoso na Ghana Police for etimi and I said the Eastern South Regional Police Command for no wo matimi e die kire ama wo machemrante mienu bako edi Amos Boame na bako nso edi Collins Ejay a wo mo ensa aso mu emu. Or say one other suspect by name Ashivi, who is on the run, is being pursued for his arrest on the role he is suspected to have played. Enti womu ejema nipa baako enso ka ho wono de Ashivi wono nso yesusu se wono nso eka ho bie odi dwumadie bi e wo sa akronudi we mu a wo mo ehwe se wo mu nsa ebetimi asoni mu. The following exhibit found with the suspect enti wo mo chi omo no eniema wo mu hu se na ekura mu eni Alda Tupal pump action gun with serial number 245A12944, 1 electronic shocker na shocker so eka ho bie a cutlass NFA a bullet vest are being kept for evidential purposes. Inti niema omunsa eso mu enie nkrante shocker enso ka ho bi na bullet proof e kan say bullet proof enso eka ho ebie. Now or say during the robbery the suspect shot the security man and a pump attendant who had taken refuge in an office within the station. Enti kronodia na ekwaso no security man a wo ho no omobo ni tuo na edwumayeni o ho a wono nso etonfo ni bi no ono nso etuo eka ne sanse wo mko hu se na omo de omo ho akobo adwa wo dan ba ku bi mu wo ho. They also took away cash in an amount of 13,406 Ghana cedis. Into omu chema sika omutimi di dwane ye 13,460 Ghana cedis ne provisions ahodo che so omadum so atoso ene niema e wo ho adokodoko de e wo ho no nso no wo mu edi bi edwane ekoye. Police further inspected the scene and found 19 spent cartridges and 1 live round ammunition. The victims are in stable conditions. Into omujema musa ko bia o kwahwehwe wonu mekohu cartridges be 19 ena ammunitions live round no so baako na amanfo ayebo mutuo no security man no ne for attendant ne de sabre ye de omo akopie mu wo ayaresabia hwe wo mu afei nso strenuous efforts are ongoing to arrest the remaining accomplices to face prosecution. Into omuguswa womo nhwehwemu na womo kan womo de omho akanwura no womo etimi achi omo. Residents are entreated to remain calm as police in collaboration with the filling station managers have put up a robust security measures to prevent further occurrences. Inti amanfo a womote empatemu honom no se dio omo kan se womunya abotoye mu isansa police for ne ye adwuma bi ombetimi na omu etimi de abo wo mu ho ban se de be ya sa abonifo semwe ebi ensibiem wo kwafokrom ho krata we David Fianko Ochre DSP wono na nensa ehye ase na krata we beto gya no nipa bebre abo police for na baso se asem ni si kwasi ada na ene wukuo wo matimi abo mo homoden ama wo nsa aso wo mu emu esan se Ghana ha enipa binum ye wo madwense wo metimi edibone na afa wo mafa wo ho ade ana wo manyo muti edidi mu enti Ghana police for aya ade pa se wo matimi ache eye emrantie we afei yenko ensem fofo eso me ne wo ka say eye Auditors General report a wo ye no the fa the sports ministry no under the previous administration no ababeto emonten so na me no ka say the former sports minister Era Mustafa Yusuf na ne ho akwakoba asem esansi ye hwemu a na chese yesika puduo a afa wo monsase efa the 13th All African Games Ghana ye hosti ye Legon Sports Stadium honom no hunsem a eboboba no ebusia eni soso pa now ye sha se a hwe screens ne so ma me o se Auditor General Sir charges former Sports Minister Mustafa Yusuf and others over 580 million Ghana cedis in expenses related to the 13th African Games. International say All African Games course wa unam na be say ya brand Metro Max na bohu na adia sorry Legon Sports Stadium na nya sem ketwa honom de chemu asike komu no close to 580 million Ghana cedis se say no the former sports minister Era Mustafa Yusuf ye chema womra na womeyi ne ho anu woni enipa duduo binuma wo mo eka ho na nsem ne de edoso there a lot of issues pop up another and was screens so or say over 580 million in financial irregularities quantified in relation to the 13th All African Games Auditor General's report. International say All African Games kakra ye no sika ekomu 580 million Ghana cedis and Auditor General no and the report no the ababeto mountain so efa wansem and they say onipa ye holding accountable for it no the former sport minister Era Mustafa Yusuf ono na say ye de charges no ebo no wono eni nipa binuma wo mu kan sanse ekiremu a eniema basa chese t-shirt ni other things ya running sikane mbroso na ye de edi sa adwuma no wo All African Games course no now which are some of the reports after the Auditors General's report and I say utimi say sika komu pa enti wo hwa ebi kranie o say 2.3 million was spent on cleaning services just say aprapra ne yen cleaning nko 2.3 million during the the 13th African Games with duplicate invoices and overlap in service charges especially for Zoom Lion. Enti etremo a Zoom Lion ejumekuo no Jospon the company Zoom Lion womo no mokoye cleaning no the 13th African Games course no na ye kyeremu a 2.3 na invoices ni bi wo hono ma ya ne double enti bia ye sign 10,000 Zoom Lion a ubetumi ehu be 10,000 be miensa nko a na se sika no ebi afa enkofo bi ensase wo honom now Osha or say over 7 million was spent on quantified t-shirt purchase during the 13th All African Games Auditors General report. Na to say ye chiremwa beya 7 million Ghana cedis and I de kwaye t-shirt no so ye nim ne dodo say ye 5,000 say 6,000 pieces say 8,000 pieces ye ntimi nkyere de woman say ya tro say 7 million Ghana cedis and ye de t-shirt na eno no was say Era Mustafa Yusuf wotimi ba abonten no obekirem ane because untimi untimi nya budget na items no quantity enka ho na figures eka ho dia na what are you trying to tell us and they say there yebeka say Era Mustafa ne wonsem ya abobo aba now we'll put yebeka say some portions of the Auditors General report for this whole All African Games and we'll better screens and so as you can see ushemwa this is some part of it. The 18th point was say overpricing of accommodation cost. Enti accommodation biya nkofo di omuti beto no kra no sika no ye bubi agumu enti usha is about US $840,000 which is equivalent to 10,080,000 Ghana cedis. Eni na eno nkwa accommodation is prices no oma running omo de bia to so ti say bia ye tumu si ye say ya oma san oh this is very sad. Now shall see JDK Travel and Tour charged $150 per room per night for 500 rooms, 250 standard and 250 executive over 21 days, totaling $1,575,000. Market verification showed that the average official hotel rate for the listed hotels ranged between $50 to $70 per room, producing a benchmark total of approximately $735,000. The differential of $840,000 represents the inflated component of the room cost. We recommend recovery of the amount from Mustafa Yusuf, former Minister of Sport, Youth and Sport, William Kwate, former Chief Director, and Dr. Kweku Ofosu Asari, former LOC Chairman. And prices are nanka womunim say hotel baako bia be cost no between $50 to $70. Eno no okika bom kra na number $735,000. But to say ye shemu sika no run over kra ama wo difference na ewo mu na per the Auditors General report ni dia not to say is over $840,000 sa sika we ekọ hemfa entiera Mustafa Yusuf yeso omra na ombeyiano. Now there was overpricing of vehicle branding and debranding. Cars I mechanic say buses ni cars ahodo a ye brandy ye with all African games stickers ni ade tare ho no eno so price no omo bubi gumu. And Usha, or say 2,003,121.5. And Omususu say abroso. Now, say the LOC awarded JDK Travel and Tour a lump sum contract of $3,164,828.75 for branding and debranding of games vehicle. Market benchmarking established that comparable services could cost $1,161,707 Ghana cedis, indicating that the unit price charge for SUVs, buses, saloons, and trucks significantly exceeded prevailing market rate. The resulting overpricing amount amounted to $2,003,121.5 Ghana cedis. We recommend recovery of the amount and also signs na so muchema enkasa branding of vehicles ni ade on a normal day no e was enka itimi cost $1,161,707 Ghana cedis. Now so ushemu a ade ne number 2 million, which is not supposed to be so. Mustafa Yusuf the former Chief Director Mr. William Kwate omunyinamra na omumbeyiano and oshemwa. There are other issues and also popping up, so just look at this on the screen. So I say unqualified contractor into obi onoma ejuma nensen fatano, but they were running family and friends affairs with the All African Games and almost saying yesika ebrosom. And we shall see JDK Travel and Tours 18,900,000 Ghana cedis. JDK registered as a travel and tour entity was paid for accommodation services despite lacking accommodation license and operating as an intermediary. Enti omu chema ye JDK Travel and Tour ya womudin ewo mu se womu na omo hye biaya nkofo beda no eso no license kra omu ni bi womu ni license so sika akwakodi omo ho. Now also 2 listed hotels could not be independently verified. Enti hotels mienu so ewo mu a ye do omo eye All African Games na omo nso o hye nkrata mu a unhu omo yentimi verify say ya register omo ye approved Ghana hanum say we recommend that Mustafa Yusuf, former Minister of Youth and Sport, William Kwate, former Chief Director, and Dr. Kweku Ofosu-Asare should be sanctioned in accordance with Section 92 of the Public Procurement Act 2003, Act 663 as amended. Say the Mustafa as a 2 year dead say all African Games no mo dia fa ho minor boka ka ye mo bida. Now another problem the Auditor General ehu ye fixed sums of variable services, fixed sum. Enti enfa ne so obi ba be prapra en obi enso madan anka enim se ni mienu no ade ansonsanso de mo. Enti de oprapra no ni sika nko ena de ebia wo madan no nso ni sika nko enso se de oprapra no eje 1 million Ghana cedis a de madan no nso ya tro 1 million Ghana cedis a man, which is not possible. Enti we shall say 336 million 626,436.68. That is what no any sikapudu call that sector. Now I'll say 14 contracts for inherently variable services, including anti-doping, accommodation, catering, air ticket, and transportation, were structured as fixed lump sums rather than unit rates. Intuition make said a mechanic baby uncle for better or more munyan aduane caterers transport near dinano sikaba kona near trama or munina, which is not laudable. Not just a BB air coso. Now meanwhile no accommodation the pricing different. Aduane noa sika kwa aduane noa mu different. Transportation different because fuel prices near the down some. Now, so a ban is saying, and all this, sectors are being given the same amount of money. And no much say Mustafa Hamid, Wabogana, Mustafa Yusuf, Wabogana ka into one brand be ano. Now, I say high risk cash withdrawals and payments outside GIFMIS. Into GIFMIS, a website are buying assets at all. That is GIFMIS. Call some companies GIFMIS 3 any other day they use them. Entino anka sika bia ye be yi ana ye betua no e was say fa gift mix no emu, but that was not the case. It was say large cash withdrawals were made from the AUSC account without documented purpose or supporting disbursement records. Repeated withdrawals by the same individuals were observed. The cash withdrawals showed no corresponding gift mix POs, system vouchers, or EFT confirmations. Transactions have bypassed the GIFMIS controls. We recommend that GIFMIS should be fully deployed for all future payments. In the system nanke was say Mustafa Yusuf ni nejuma for FM edi yiska edi cheskan omo yusu. Eno mako yi sika bi omo twetwe sika no me yi sika bi no ma sebe enkrata kra na ho aye betimi a kire vouchers bibie ni wonum na say aska no mo de ye den na fa he na say a lot of corruption has gone through this whole all African games are no na say sports ministry no omabo Ghana ka. Now lastly you see weak cash management controls and no so sika e call ho ye over 247,194 Ghana cedis, US dollars, which odeba Ghana cedis that's over 2,966,333.52. And nisika akọ sebe yehu. See analysis of participation and accommodation fee records indicated that US dollars 2,034,976.46 was reportedly received in cash from participating countries. Enti amaya wo mo ebeye all African games ni bi no sike free omo ho ebaye wo cash not through transaction payments and our bank no no. And ushemwa not just say a lot has been gone wrong, and I say a lot has gone wrong with this whole all African games a course so no say sikani bi wo no ma ye hu ba bi e fire e ka ene de abeto mine so. Into the former sports minister Yera Mustafa Yusuf ene na pam for the former chief director ene ade nyina, they should be held accountable for that. Now lastly, and semno eswa nanwada for some couple of months ni and a beto just say aircraft bi akɔ crash ɛwɔ tema ɛma ɛnam so ma emrantie mienu yi omoda screens so omahwere omo nkwa yaya. They happen to be the children of Elder Frank, the founder of Hebron Prayer Camp. They are rehobeto Ghana for so pa na sabi yeji ehwenji because na the casualties na ekoko so no yado so me no ka say nhwehwemu akoso ama de nam so a akwanhyia no esiye no sabre de ye de ababeto dwa. So on your screen or say engine failure resulting from overheating most likely caused microlight aircraft crash in Tema. Final report. Intini echema aircraft no helicopter no the engine no any failure as a result of overheating a double so na chesema engine no efeli ya de ekwohwe wa ejato muma emrantie mienu yi womo ehwe womo enkwa ya now on say microlight aircraft crash in Tema. Pilot occupied rear seat while brother sat in front seat, breaching flight permit and restricting pilots access to critical instruments. International so much sa helicopter no na nipa mienu onuabema eni ni nua no mu chema baby a pilot ne tena ye no eni baby onuabema ne tena ye no na eni kwan se anka eba ne sa enti baby a ni nua ne tena ye no na anka enye ho ene wo so tena enti nsem ni si ye no se nka onte ho a bi anka ni nua ne betimi ayma ne nsa akeka niema bi anka betimi aboa no ama wo mo aso sa problem no ano but unfortunately Banisa. Now, Ositema aircraft crash that claimed 2 lives was caused by engine failure due to overheating. Into overheating, bro sono engine emuno and I say engine no started a malfunction now. Ede ekwahwe ho a ene emrantie ahwe wo mo enkwan ya into the findings after this crash no into we shall say the aircraft accident final report no ba ye no etwema na overheating and a disappointment because asem ni see na manfo bebre person mu say ede ni see ye what happened, what led to that and all that e be chema. Maybe because we got eyewitnesses I know which him so I say helicopter ne ba form kakra ema womo any pilot ne kra kasa ye any ade and so people were wondering what went wrong e dey ne see ye ne ye ni obi omo anu omo twi nso anko betimi aba be kire mu no womo nso a omo afiri mu enti we say no the AIB Ghana womo ena womo edisa nhwehwemu we eyeden ebeto emonten eso na ninyina mu no the head of investigations edema AIB Ghana Captain Paul Fojo waba be kasa de afa de course ne ho a woche mu se the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority no womo nso mu odwumadi in checking up helicopters even if they are private helicopters or private aircrafts krana they have a mandate say womo run checks check it on some of these things said the beya will ensure the safety of people that board this aircraft as well as pilots are womu adwuma ewo aircraft we emu yebekwa akotie captain nsem a wode etudwa yeba yebeto ansem no so ede amamu
by the authority as part of its records register to enhance safety in general aviation operations. 2. The Ghana Civil Aviation Authority should consider the establishment of a procedure to advise Air Traffic Control and Ghana Airports Company Limited on flight permits issued to Ghanaian registered general aviation aircraft, including privately owned aircraft, to provide information on the conditions of flight permits issued to enable ATC and airport managers to monitor and assist in ensuring compliance with the conditions of the flight permits to promote aviation safety. 3. Air traffic control should ensure that all its staff are aware of the requirement in the Aircraft Accident and Incident Investigation Prevention Bureau Act 2020, Act 1028, Section 22, subsection 1C, which states that air traffic controllers are to immediately notify the Bureau of an aircraft accident by the most rapid means of communication possible available to enable AIB Ghana respond promptly to aircraft accidents for the preservation of perishable evidence and the prevention of recurrence. And 4, aircraft operators, including general aviation operators, must continuously adhere to or comply with all conditions of any permit or authorizations granted them by the regulator to promote aviation safety. This brings to the end of the investigation report. We just would like to make a few acknowledgements. To the Ghana Fire Service, NADMO, Ghana Police, Ghana Navy, Ghana Army National. The investigation believes that the aircraft most likely had an engine failure due to overheating. And also that the aircraft at which the engine failed was too low to enable the pilot find a suitable safe landing area. Now, contributory factors, which are the factors. The investigation believes that the aircraft most likely had an engine failure due to overheating. And also that the aircraft at which the engine failed was too low to enable the pilot find a suitable safe landing area. Now, contributory factors, which are the factors. The investigation believes
Captain Paul Fojo na yehu eye ninsema wodi atudwa concerning the Tema aircraft crash and so Emma Hebron prayer camp yera Elder Frank Donko ni mamienu efemu ehwe wo munkwano na wochema. It was as a result of overheating of the engine no and I'm so emasa kwinsha we see now ochemu krase na o share the level na ebedin say the pilot no ebitimi aye safe landing, and in view of that no and what taxi the aviation civil authority, and I said yes, the aviation civil authority said they have a lot to do ejumane de omo bebre pa was with regards to the aircraft, any idea how to handle, how to manage, and even if possible having a meeting and I say in Shemudia people that are owning private helicopters near there, the things they are supposed to know just to feed them with the knowledge they need in using all this aircraft near there. They said unfortunate incidents like this, it would not take place any there. So finally we get to know the namso now ninyine mu no osan ekasa ya wo chense mu say when the pilot no navigate the helicopter no edru baabi no na nka opese wo landing, but baabi a wo yes wo landing no na adesuafo wo ho na o sha it was unsafe. And so I think that will be the point where some of the witnesses niche mu say womo ne kasa ye kran hu nanim ni ade until that unfortunate incident. And even mind you, at the end of the day na kwahwe form so kwahwe form was school compound so and the Captain Paul Fojo ade a wakasa atetre mu some of the circumstances na surrounded this particular helicopter crash course no yenkotie no emra na yento ansem no so.
The aircraft had an engine failure and ended up crashing, and that the pilot put himself in a position where he didn't have a choice but to attempt to land where he did. The aircraft was uncontrollable from within the last few minutes of the flight. Yes.
What safety measures have been put in place after this crash?
Basically, the safety measures that we are pushing and asking to be done to prevent any further recurrence is that there should be more of a light on general aviation practices here. so that because most general aviation operators are single owners and don't actually have an organization flying and so on, it makes it easy for them to tend to cut corners or to do things which an organized enterprise would not do. So we are asking that a bit more light should be thrown on them, a bit more education should go into their practices in Ghana, and so that we will have an avoidance of any such recurrence. Yeah.
So during the report, you made a statement that the pilot tried his best waving to the kids.
Yes. Yes. Where he had wanted to put the plane down, the kids were playing. So eyewitness reports tell us that he kept they kept waving from the aircraft at the children, indicating, which I guess everybody came to realize later, that they were telling the kids to leave the field. But the kids thought they were waving at them. So the kids waved back and then continued playing their games. So the pilot aborted that attempt and then decided to go around and come back again. But it was in the course of coming back that he must have lost his engine totally, because obviously, like we said, 25 minutes to the time, we already knew that his engine was overheating. And so he must have known that he had a problem with his engine and was not sure he could make it. So that's why he wanted to land. But he thought he had more time than he actually did. So when the plane finally just failed, he didn't have the time.